What is so glaringly wrong with almost all collagen powders on the market?
A lot of people are getting disgusting, cheap marine collagen that is coming from farmed fish and tilapia.
Sick.
The label clean in Sephora does not mean much. A lot of brands say that they're all natural, but they're all using synthetic fragrance.
I'm thinking of Salt and Stone.
Actually, the dirty makeup that you put on your face is better than putting a natural deodorant that has synthetic fragrance on your armpit.
Today's guest is someone I've been wanting to interview for a long time. Her story is inspiring, her approach to clean beauty is groundbreaking, and her brand, Agent Nateur, has become a game changer in the world of luxury skincare and wellness. Jena Covello's journey into the world of natural healing began when she was diagnosed with endometriosis at the age of 23. After enduring years of pain, 5 surgeries, and countless conflicting medical opinions, she was left feeling hopeless. And that is when Jena took matters into her own hands, seeking alternative healing methods and educating herself on natural remedies. What was once her last resort became the solution to her chronic health struggles, leading her to create Agent Nauteur's flagship product, the Holy Stick deodorant. But Jena didn't stop there. She expanded Agent Nateur to offer a full line of luxury skincare and supplements, all crafted with natural, eco-certified ingredients that are as safe as they are effective. Agent Nateur is now an international brand featured in some of the most exclusive spas around the world, resorts and stores like Erewhon and Net-a-Porter. Jena is not just a CEO, she's a muse and a thought leader in the beauty industry, advocating for independent thinking and research. And yes, I mean independent thinking not only when it comes to beauty, but also politics. And let me tell you, she's got some pretty strong opinions, especially when it comes to the term clean beauty. And she's going to tell you why she hates it. Before we dive in, I do want to just say this. Agent Nateur is not a sponsor of this podcast, nor do I have any affiliate codes, at least right now, or discounts to share. I'm simply fascinated by the brand and Jena's unique perspective. She's truly a pioneer in the space, and I couldn't wait to get her on the show. So if you're enjoying the podcast, take a second, leave a 5-star review. It's free. It really helps us out. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at Culture Apothecary or me at Real Alex Clark. You can also join the Cute Servitors Facebook group where we dive into the topics that we discuss here and connect with like-minded women. Also, an interesting and fun personal life update. I recently went and got a radiation-free full body MRI with Prenuvo. As I'm starting to really take control of my health for the first time in my life, knowing if I had anything scary on the horizon was really important to me. That way, I could have some extra precious time to come up with a plan to deal with it. Prenuvo is a transformative new healthcare company that uses advanced MRI to perform a proactive scan. They are able to detect solid cancerous tumors at stage 1 and around 500 other conditions, including aneurysms, spine herniations, musculoskeletal conditions, fatty liver disease, etc. Unlike other screening mechanisms, Prenuvo does not use radiation or contrast, making this the safest proactive screening tool. On average, Prenuvo gives potentially life-saving insights to 1 out of every 20 people that get scanned. The vast majority of cancers and medical conditions found are at a very early stage and occur in mostly asymptomatic patients. So you may not know that you have anything unless you get this scan. It took about a week to get my results, and then I had a 1-hour consultation with a doctor explaining what we found, which thank God was just some cysts that I don't need to worry about, and then a deviated septum and a little arthritis in my neck. Praise God. But wouldn't it be great for yourself and your family to have that peace of mind? Prenuvo is available in select cities across the United States. You can find out where and get $300 off your scan at prenuvo.com/Alex Clark. So let's dive in now to today's episode with the incredible Jena Covello, founder of Agent Nateur. Is beauty capped out at a certain age?
No. No, of course not.
And you can kind of start over at any time. You can start caring about your skin at any time. Like, it's never too late.
I think if you start to take care of your skin at a later age, then you're up against a bit more, right? If you're smoking, going in the sun so much and frying in the sun and drinking alcohol, and then suddenly you wake up at 65, you may have a much more rough time, because I think a lot of the things we do are very preventative.
What is the story behind Agent Nateur becoming the most controversial luxury beauty brand?
I started the brand because I have stage 4 endometriosis, and my estrogen levels used to be like through the roof. My estradiol level was a 1065. A normal range is about like 200. A decade ago, I was doing everything I could naturally to cut the estrogen. And one of the tips my dad had given me since I was a teenager was to stop using aluminum antiperspirant, because aluminum is an endocrine disruptor. It mimics estrogen, so it can make your levels higher. And that aluminum is also found in vaccines. It's used as an adjuvant in the vaccines. And so I started cooking the deodorant on my stove in West Hollywood, and I started posting about it. And a lot of the retailers found me naturally because there wasn't much competition at the time. There were really no other luxury natural deodorants on the market in stick form. So when I launched the deodorant, it was before Trump was elected, and I just said, hey, like, you don't want to vote for Hillary because she's pro-vaccine mandates, and she's going to actually be pro-adult vaccine mandates. And this is like years before COVID.
I was going to say, if you're talking about the election between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, I mean, that was years before we knew a pandemic was going to happen. And you were saying that there was going to be mandated vaccines back then. How did you know?
There were meetings like with David Wolf and with Del Bigtree, and certain people were getting together with RFK. And it was all on it's all on the government website, actually, that these mandates, they want to enact these mandates for adults, and they want adults to follow a vaccine schedule. Also, Hillary spoke a lot about this through the Clinton Foundation. And so at the time, I was following a blog called March Against Monsanto. And that, along with David Wolf, that kind of opened my eyes to so much of what was happening.
You were Maha before Maha.
Yeah, I really was. The brand was controversial in itself because no one believed that aluminum was problematic. Everyone thought that was a conspiracy theory to come out with a natural deodorant that was free of aluminum. And now it's, look at the industry, it's blown up. Businesses like Dove are now making aluminum-free deodorant. And there are studies and there are links to, not that it can directly cause breast cancer, but it can lead to breast cancer because it is an endocrine disruptor. So if that aluminum in the deodorant can lead to breast cancer, then why is it in the vaccine? That was like always the question that I was asking. So I was getting canceled for asking that question. And so I started following March Against Monsanto. And they were talking a lot how Hillary was bringing pre-approved vaccines from China to America without having to go through any testing in America. And those vaccines were going to the US, and they were going to South America, and they were going to lower income neighborhoods. And doctors in affluent areas would tell my friends who had children, our vaccines are safe. Our vaccines are vetted. And there is a different grade of a vaccine. The poor and marginalized communities are getting a different quality vaccine. And so I was talking a lot about this. I was talking about this in 2000, I think it was before 2012, when Obama, he wouldn't allow GMO labeling. And that's really when I was finished.
With the left?
With the left, yeah.
What's interesting is that Barack Obama, though, was campaigning on the fact that we should label GMOs, and then he completely abandoned those promises, and then ended up putting a ton of people in his administration that were working for Monsanto and stuff, right?
Well, actually, the head of the FDA was the former head of Monsanto. So there was a lot of crossover between the FDA, the CDC, and Monsanto. So the people who are leading the way for our food and drugs are coming from Monsanto and also coming from the pharmaceutical industry, which is like so scary. So I was like talking about all of this.
When you say that people in the beauty industry were trying to cancel you for just talking about the dangers of aluminum deodorant, what types of things were going on?
Oh, I had stores drop me. I had accounts drop me. I had Goop drop me.
Are they back?
Goop is not back. I don't want to even be back, to be honest.
What's going on with Goop? Do you think they can be trusted?
I think they were bought out by some large VCs in San Francisco, and they had to come out and fully support the vaccine in 2020. And they came out with an email in 2020 why they support the vaccine. So I got dropped around that time. Their like beauty director, like she kept me in this box because she didn't like my political views. But she's allowed to express her views on social media, but I wasn't allowed to express mine. And the more they tried to express their views and wouldn't allow me to express mine. Like I'm a Gemini and I'm a contrarian. So the more I'm going to express my views and the more I'm going to press. Trump was elected and then there was the Women's March. So this is like January 2017. And these women left their trash all over LA. It was disgusting. And I was like, aren't you for the environment? Why are you leaving your trash like everywhere?
Yeah.
I'm like, you're being like hypocrites right now. Aren't you like, this is like complete hypocrisy.
Well, and I think it's interesting when you bring up Goop because they're supposed to be the mecca, the standard, the gold standard of health and wellness and freedom of choice when it comes to clean living.
She may be. I mean, look, she's into a lot of similar things as me. She may be, but she's bought out and she has VCs behind her and she doesn't own the majority of it anymore. So when you're bought out and when you have all these VCs funding the company, you're not allowed to really express your personal views, which is why, I'm self-funded. I started the brand with just $300, no family money, no loans. I'm scared, to have those VCs. I don't want them to silence me.
How did you crawl from the ashes then, from them trying to cancel you and slander the brand and yourself to now being, every time I refresh Vogue, there's a new article featuring one of your products.
They all have me on like a list that they're not allowed to really write about me. If you see anybody really writing about me, it's a freelance writer who's promoting the collagen. And so what happened was they kind of put me on this like list to like block me and they were like, let's not give her any attention. Let's not write about her. Let's not give her any awards. Let's kind of just pretend she doesn't exist. And the more they did that, the more my community stood up and supported me. And with every cancellation, my sales just kept going up and up and up. And then during COVID, my sales were up like 3,000% or something like insane. So I noticed that every time there was a big like cancellation, the sales increased. And so that made me realize that my views were the majority. They try so hard to ignore me, but my products are so amazing and so efficacious. They can't ignore me. And really, I think that's God protecting me because my heart is in such a good place and I'm here to help other people along their health journey and I'm here to expose the corruption. So my heart is in such a pure place that I really think I'm protected by God and my guardian angels for sure.
When I describe Agent Nateur to people, I'm always saying it's this luxury clean beauty brand. You hate the term clean beauty. Why is that not a great term?
I just changed my bio to clean, efficacious, luxury beauty because I feel like people love the word clean. I do not like the word clean because I think it gives all synthetics a bad rap. And I don't use synthetics, but I've studied in France for natural cosmetics and fragrance for 10 years, right? I study one-on-one with my chemist now. She's actually in LA right now at my manufacturing facility. I go by a European standard, right? Because there is no standard really in America. There's no guideline of what is clean and what is safe and what's okay for breastfeeding and what isn't. But Europe came out with much higher standards about 20 years ago. Japan has the highest standard in the world for cosmetics, followed by the EU. And so what I learned a decade ago was that not every single paraben is bad, that parabens that have been on the market for 30 plus years, they are not endocrine disruptors. It's the new parabens that have the longest molecular structure that are not banned in America, but banned in the EU that are problematic, that are endocrine disruptors that can cause cancer. The ones that are bad have been banned in Europe for a long time, but there are parabens that have been on the market for 40 years nearly that are not bad. And so for me, it's that, people really aren't truly educated on the topic and they don't know the difference. And to just say all parabens are bad is not, that's not true.
So how do you know if a brand is truly clean or not?
The label clean in Sephora does not mean much. There's like Sephora clean. That does not mean much because they are saying that chemical sunscreens are clean. There are chemical sunscreens that have the label clean at Sephora. Chemical sunscreens, as you know, are absorbed into the bloodstream. They are linked to all kinds of issues like lower sperm count, fertility issues, cancer. Mineral sunscreens, they're not absorbed into the blood because they sit on top of the skin. They reflect the sun back. So they work differently. I think that the way that you vet a brand is by going through each ingredient and looking it up and seeing if there's any side effect. I think that there's very few retailers that are truly doing that work. Organic Bunny is one of them. Organic Bunny, she has an online store. I'd say she is like the most rigorous when it comes to ingredients. Melissa at Citrine Beauty here in Phoenix.
I love Citrine.
I just had a masterclass with them yesterday. Yeah, I come every year. Yeah. Melissa's amazing.
In Phoenix, like when I'd always recommend people go in there if you're in town because not only do they have a bunch of clean skincare and body care and things, but they also have tons of clean makeup brands. And it is a beautiful boutique store. They do classes and events, like having Jena out to teach people things. And it's just a really phenomenal place. Yeah. And I also even have had guests on the show that are super into like health and wellness and stuff contact Citrine and be like, what clean makeup artists in Phoenix would you recommend? And they even know people. So yeah, it's a really cool place to know if you're local.
There's certain retailers that really care. Like Detox Market really cares. Romaine at Detox Market. He vets the brands. I think if you look up like Green Beauty Boutique, that would be a way to know who carries the clean brands.
Who do you think is the most fraudulent clean brand on the market?
I would say just that clean at Sephora label.
Be wary of that.
When I saw that chemical sunscreens were labeled as clean, that for me, that really threw things off. Fragrance is very controversial. My chemist in France will say that as long as you abide and you put a certain percentage of fragrance, that it's okay. But, fragrance is linked to cancer and to all kinds of autoimmune and hormonal issues. For me right now, because I was that first luxury natural deodorant on the market, that was my claim to fame. My natural deodorant was the game changer. A lot of brands have come out since then and are blowing up, and they say that they're all natural, right? They tout themselves as natural deodorant, but they're all using synthetic fragrance.
I'm thinking of Salt and Stone.
Yeah.
That's who comes to mind for me. And I really liked their deodorant. Then I found that out and I was so bummed out.
If you go into the store and you smell Agent Nateur deodorant next to Salt and Stone smells so much better because it's synthetic. Our fragrances are all natural. So I literally just reformulated all of them. I launched them March 20th. And there's 5 fragrances. And I reformulated them with isolates, which are derived from essential oils. They smell amazing and they're going to like blow Salt and Stone away. And I'm taking my business and my customers back from Salt and Stone because all you girlies think you're wearing like your natural deodorant, but you're all using synthetic fragrance.
Call them out, Jena.
And you're putting that on your armpit, which if there's anything that you want to switch in beauty, right? If there's any product, the first thing you have to switch is your deodorant because your armpit absorbs up to 100% of what you're putting on because your armpit is so porous. So you're using a natural deodorant, but then you're putting all of this synthetic fragrance under your arms, and that's absorbed into your skin more than any other area in your body. So actually, the dirty makeup that you put on your face is better than putting a natural deodorant that has synthetic fragrance on your armpit. And no one's talking about that.
So here's a question. When was the last time you tried to figure out what blood tests you actually need? The list is endless, right? Hormones, thyroid, cholesterol, vitamins. And the worst part is there's no clear answer. It's like being lost in a maze. And every turn leads to another appointment. A lab appointment here, a doctor appointment there. And don't even get me started on insurance. It's like, can someone just tell me what to do to feel my best? Enter Jevity. They figured it out. You don't need to schedule a bunch of appointments with different doctors. With Jevity, they send a phlebotomist straight to your door for at-home blood work within 10 minutes. And they will test 90 biomarkers. Actually more than 90 biomarkers. That's more than your average doctor could ever dream of testing. And then you hop on a virtual consultation with one of their experts who builds you a custom health plan. You want hormone therapies, supplements, anti-aging treatments, peptides, they've got it all. And here's the best part, it's $129 a month. One price all in, no surprises, no running around, just results. And it's monthly so that you can keep getting tested to see how you're going and consult with your free health team that's wrapped up in that package. If you want to skip the waitlist and get 20% off your first month, use code Alex at gojevity.com. Health optimization has never been this easy. That's gojevity, GEVITI.com with code Alex. One occupational hazard I have in this job is everybody wants to give me strange food to try. Well, one person just came up to me at an event recently. They put some meat stick in my face and they're like, I know what's good. Trust me, I know what's good. It was gross. The texture was all wrong. I don't even know what animal it came from, but it wasn't beef. My teeth got stuck in it, and I'm just sitting there thinking, am I supposed to be chewing this for the next 40 minutes? What is this, some kind of lizard? I was one step away from pulling out my Paleo Valley beef sticks, but I held back to be polite, and then I went and ate them without them looking. Paleo Valley beef sticks are made from 100% grass-fed, grass-finished beef. That's right, happy cows, no antibiotics, no weird hormones, none of that sketchy factory farm nonsense, not even any conventional spices. The spices are organic. And while other sticks are just, well, sad, Paleo Valley's got gut-friendly probiotics because they ferment their beef the old school way. This is unbelievable, like actual probiotics, not just random mystery powders. And do you know how many chemicals other snack sticks have? Don't even get me started. Paleo Valley doesn't use any of that. Just real organic spices, nothing weird. If you want to snack like a real adult who's not playing games, head to paleovalley.com/Alex and use code Alex for 15% off. That's paleovalley.com/Alex, code Alex. Get your beef stick game on point, okay? Do you think that there is such a thing as a clean perfume? Like, are you wearing perfume at all?
Oh, I do. I love my Killian.
Killian?
I don't spray it on my body anymore.
Okay.
So my boyfriend and I, we have like this amazing guy in LA that we see. I'm not going to say his name because then no one's going to be able to get in. I'll tell you like off camera who we see, but he is like, you have to stop with the fragrance. So now we just spray it like on our clothes and never on our body because again, it completely messes up your hormones, lowers the sperm count, can mess with estrogen. So, and really bad for the dogs also.
Well, I really need you to come up with some kind of truly natural perfume.
I trust you. We're doing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I trust your taste.
There is someone. There's a nose I love. Her name is Olivia Jacobetti. And she came out with a line of of natural perfumes. You can look her up.
Okay, I want to be described like that. Can I just say that? One day, I want to be described as a nose. You know whose nose I love? Alex Clark. Like, what a beautiful descriptor of this woman. She is a nose you love because she just has a good sense of smell. I love it. Okay.
But she is a perfumer. You call
Yes,
them
yeah.
noses.
Oh, I get it right away.
Yes, we can. Yes, Alex Clark was an amazing nose. Yes.
Before launching Agent Nateur, before being in clean beauty, you also worked in fashion. You were kind of gaining this reputation in that industry as being like, oh, Jena, she's the health and wellness girly.
Yeah.
So what advice were you giving coworkers and acquaintances in the industry that they were like coming to you for knowledge?
Okay, so first I went to school at FIT and then Parsons, and then I was a shoe designer in New York. I worked for a company called Delman. They like made like the ballerina flat like famous in New York in like the in like the 60s or something. And then I moved to LA and I was designing Bajley Michka and J-Lo. And I was going to China like 4 times a year, and I was getting really sick there because of my endometriosis. So I literally had to like leave the shoe industry because the endometriosis had gotten so bad and so out of control. And I was bedridden and just really sick for my cycles every month. And so I started taking like side jobs, and I was styling with this amazing guy called Ryan Hastings, and he's Jen Aniston's stylist. So I was like working with Jen and working with Rooney Mara, and then working with like George Clooney. I pretty much like have probably like been an assistant to every stylist in LA almost.
And who was your favorite to work with?
George Clooney is like amazing, even though like in his house, it looks like the Oval Office.
Weird.
He has pictures of like him and Barack everywhere, and
what?
Like CNN is playing. And
a little shrine?
There's like a CNN shrine in there.
I mean, I believe it. I mean, remember this whole thing he did with the Bidens, and then allegedly he was like, I regret doing that, like telling everyone to vote for Joe or whatever. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember.
That was weird.
I love him though. Like he's really great. I met a lot of amazing, like really nice people actually. I think a lot of people probably err on our side and just aren't allowed to because they're part of Hollywood, to be honest. So then I got like sucked back into shoes because I like was so broke, and I couldn't like, these stylists like wouldn't like, oh my God, they're the biggest like virtue signalers, right? And they're like these social justice warriors, but they wouldn't pay us for like 2 months at a time. So I would like be broke for like 60 days. So then I had to go back to shoes, right? I hadn't been in an office setting in like 9 years. So I went back to this like office that was like awful. It was like a dungeon in West LA. I refused to go to China because they're chain smoking like in front of you all day long with these shoe designers. So like I refused to go, and all the girls would come back from China so sick, like all of the time. So I would literally give them neck and all kinds of supplements. This was in like 2014. I'd give them like vitamin C and like a methylated B complex. And I would give them MSM, which is in my supplement now. And I would say like, here's how you protect your lungs. Like I would literally hand out all the supplements. I was like, I'm the agent of nature, which is, then I wanted to put like a French spin on it so that like my brand can be this huge global brand. And so I called it Agent Nateur.
How did you end up healing your endometriosis?
I was diagnosed when I was 22, and I had had bad cycles since I was 14, since I had first gotten my period. It got really bad after my surgeries. I had 3 surgeries at the time, which made everything a lot worse. And then I started seeing Will Cole. And Will was the first person who was able to get my estrogen levels back to normal. No one was able to do it before him.
What was he doing that was so special?
He told me to cut most phytoestrogens out. Phytoestrogen is the good estrogen, actually. It's found in like cruciferous vegetables. He told me to cut tempeh out, all the things that naturopaths in the early like 2010s were telling patients to have because it gets the xenoestrogens out. Xenoestrogen is the bad estrogen. It's found in fragrance. It's found in plastic water bottles. It's found in home cleaning supplies. Then you have phytoestrogen, which is in broccoli, cruciferous vegetables, cauliflower, tempeh. They say if soy is fermented, then it's actually good for you. But Will said that the body doesn't know the difference. When it's overburdened with too much estrogen, it has no idea how to distinguish phyto from xenoestrogen. And so he made me cut the phytoestrogen out.
That is insane.
No one had told me that tip before because every other naturopath was saying to eat a lot of the phytoestrogens and to keep consuming them. But he said the body didn't know how to separate them. So that was step one, but I was not pain-free at all. Then I went on low-dose naltrexone. I was on the verge of having a hysterectomy. That's how bad my pain was. I was in bed. When I developed Agent Nateur in 2015, I was in bed, I would say, at least 15 days a month, every single month, in really bad pain, on the floor, throwing up. I had tried everything natural to do. And I would say the only things that really helped me were myofascial release. My friend Tart, he moved to Italy because of how leftist everything has gotten in America. And he wanted to pull his kids out of school. So now he goes between Italy and LA. But he does something called myofascial release to release all the fascia in the body. So that really helped me. I bought a $20 cupping kit off of Amazon, which I would cup my uterus because that would help take some of the pain away. And then my trainer, Rob, who was Madonna's former trainer from the Blonde Ambition Tour, a lot of endometriosis pain is in the hips and in the legs, and it's at like the base of the spine. And so a lot of people have sciatica from endometriosis. So you have to strengthen your hips. There's so many hip exercises you have to do. Like climbing stairs really helps. So doing all these things to strengthen the hips helped. But honestly, I really think there's some sort of miracle that happened because when I started dating my boyfriend, like my pain like virtually like disappeared.
I mean, it might have just been finding love, finding your person, like the stress. He was able to melt some of that stress away.
Yeah, I have zero pain now.
That's amazing.
I don't even have to take an Aleve or anything, nothing.
Well, I think that advice about the different types of estrogens is game-changing, and I've not had any guest when we've talked about endometriosis bring that up, so that's super good information. What is so glaringly wrong with almost all collagen powders on the market?
Well, they're processed, so they process the collagen. If you take a processed collagen like Vital Proteins, right? If you look at their collagen and you look at mine is incredibly dense, right? And so they're taking it, they're processing it, and they're able to extract more. So if I processed my collagen, I would be able to get 4 bags from one. So what does that mean? It means you can sell it much cheaper, and it means you make a lot more from that one bag.
And it's less potent?
Of course. We probably have to take 4 to equate to one scoop of Holy Maid. And they don't have to list anything on the back. Like if they're using any kind of synthetic gum, starch, or seed oil to process the collagen, they don't have to list that on the packaging.
Why not?
Because it's under a certain percentage, so you don't have to list it legally. That's like the big problem with it. I launched Holy Maid during COVID. We had no idea that people were losing their hair, right? Or that was going to be a side effect. 5 months after launching, we were getting like thousands of messages saying this like stopped my hair shedding. Why does your collagen work? Why doesn't this other brand collagen work?
What is special about the ingredients in your collagen? Because stuff that you have in yours, I've never seen in anybody else's.
So Will Cole had helped me so much with my estrogen levels that I said, let's come out with a supplement. And this was back in 2017.
He's like, gosh, this is the best decision I ever made. I mean, literally.
Sorry, Will, but yes, it was. I wanted to come out with a spirulina supplement. It was called Holy Youth. He added collagen, pearl powder, and holy basil to it. So it was like this calming adaptogen. We launched it in 2018. People hated it because spirulina is so fishy and they all like blamed the collagen, but I'm like, it's not the collagen. It's actually the spirulina. So that was 7 years ago. Everyone was like, collagen, this is a scam. It doesn't help the hair, skin, and nails. It does nothing. And we had no studies to actually contradict what people were saying at the time. There were not studies out saying that like it was good for hair, skin, and nails. Those studies really didn't exist. But the reason Will added it to the supplement was because it heals leaky gut. And so if there's inflammation in the gut, and if there's leaky gut, that means that there's little holes in the gut lining, and food gets into those holes and goes into the bloodstream, causes inflammation, and then causes rosacea and redness and inflammation in the face. So our whole theory was if you're calming the gut and you're sealing up the gut lining with collagen, you're going to have less redness and rosacea and inflammation in the face, and you're helping leaky gut. So that was our messaging, right? The product never sold. It did so bad. It was my worst selling SKU because people hated the smell and taste of the spirulina. So then during COVID, my mom was like, God, I hate your supplement, Holy Youth. She's like, it's disgusting. She's like, but your collagen works. And she's like, I see a difference in my hair. She's like, just send me your collagen powder. I don't want the other stuff. So I'm like, okay. So I made a bag and I'm like, well, I'm going to add the pearl powder too, because pearl is odorless and tasteless. And there's so many benefits to pearl.
What are they?
Oh my gosh, you can go longer between your hair washes with using it. You don't have to wash your hair as much. It makes your hair super shiny. It brightens your skin. It's amazing. And now everybody's coming out with a pearl supplement. I owe those 2 ingredients to Will Cole, but I will say this. I called Will and I said, listen, I'm discontinuing Holy Youth. I'm coming out with just collagen and pearl. And he's like, you can do it yourself. You don't have to include me. And I was like, you know what? You taught me about these ingredients. I want to include you. Because at the time, Will only had 4,000 Instagram followers. He had not blown up yet. I didn't know that Will was going to become as successful as he is, but I wanted to include him because he helped me so much. And I felt like if it weren't for him, I wouldn't have known about collagen and pearl. And even though I technically did formulate Holy Made myself, and it was my mom's idea, I still wanted to include him because he initially put those 2 ingredients in Holy Youth.
I adore him.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's great. He's super kind. Did you see all the science that came out about collagen with Huberman? I love him, by the way. He's one of us.
Tell us about it.
There's so many studies that it reverses fine lines. It hydrates your skin from within. It makes your hair more dense. It makes it grow faster. It makes your nails grow like crazy. All the studies and science are finally out. Our collagen is different too because we have types 1, 2, 3, and 4.
What is that? There's different types of collagen.
Mm-hmm. Don't quote me on what each one. I don't know what number correlates to what, but hair, skin, nails, tendons, joints. I even think there's some heart benefits. Each one does something different. If you're going to take bovine, it's very good for your gut, but there's no benefit really to hair, skin, and nails. I think that one is mostly type 3 or 4. But we have 1, 2, 3, and 4, which makes the marine collagen really special. Also, a lot of people are getting disgusting, cheap marine collagen that is coming from farmed fish and tilapia.
Sick.
Ours is kosher, wild caught cod, pollock, and haddock.
I won't be surprised, Jena, if we start seeing these huge popular supermarket collagen powder brands sourcing their stuff from a fish tank and a Red Lobster. You know what I mean? That's basically what you're getting. Red Lobster collagen. Good luck. And then, people have the audacity. I share your links and I'm like, this is the collagen. Everybody wants to bitch and moan whenever I share your collagen powder because this is expensive. This is expensive. But now we know, it could be Red Lobster collagen that you're getting.
Mm-hmm. And also people are obsessed with Holy Made. You can try to duplicate it. You can try to imitate it. You never can. And I have people that maybe they'll leave, but they'll always come back. And
yeah.
It's like
you notice a huge difference.
The ex-boyfriend who he tries to go and see if the grass is greener. They all come back over to Holy Mane.
It is the best collagen powder. I've told you, I've said this for years. Before I even had Health and Wellness Podcast, I said, this is the collagen powder I use.
We have to make you an affiliate, Alex.
I know, we should. Well, here's what's interesting. What I love is that Erewhon does these cool collaborations with the it girl celebrity of the moment.
Yeah.
Hailey Bieber, Sabrina Carpenter. These are top A-list stars who are all creating smoothies with Erewhon and using your collagen powder. So my question is, does Erewhon choose the ingredients, or are these celebrities saying, no, I want Holy Mane in my smoothie?
Both.
Cool.
Carolyn Murphy is the one who got me into Erewhon. Carolyn, she actually just lost her house in the fire. It's really devastated. I love Carolyn and her daughter, Dylan. They were the ones who got me into Erewhon. And so Erewhon reached out. I was like, I don't know if I want to sell to Erewhon. There was only the store on Beverly, right? And I've been going to Erewhon since 2007. It was like nothing like it is today, right? It was only the one location. Tupac actually used to live above Erewhon on Beverly. Did you know that fact?
No, that's hilarious.
I was kind of hesitant because I'm like, I don't know if I want to put the brand in a supermarket. And I'm like, okay, they have some higher end skincare, and it was in like a little locked cabinet, and it was like super tiny. And then I'm like, I talked about it with my team. I'm like, I don't know if that's the right retailer for me. And then I paused and I'm like, all of my fans of like me personally and everything I say, they only come up to me and recognize me in Erewhon when I'm grocery shopping. They come and they whisper in my ear. They're like, hey, I love your views. I agree with everything you said. I'm obsessed with your bread. And I'm like, oh my God, all my customers are actually at Erewhon. So that's the story of
how you got there.
Yeah.
And has it been a good decision?
We're the best selling supplement there.
Really?
We're number one.
Have you ever heard your kid snoring at night and think, oh, how cute, only to realize it's not cute? Well, that was me spending the night at my friend's house a few months ago. Turns out mouth breathing is way more than just a little noise. It's a silent epidemic that is silently robbing our kids of their health. I didn't know this, but our kids' faces are literally shrinking and their jaws are narrowing, and it's all due to them breathing through their mouths. I know it sounds wild, but here's the thing. Mouth breathing leads to some serious stuff like crooked teeth, sleep issues, even symptoms that look like ADHD. And if your child has any of these symptoms, it's not normal, even if it feels like it is. That's where Tooth Pillow comes in. So Tooth Pillow has partnered with Airway Dentists to create a virtual dental program that gets to the root of these problems before it's too late. You start with a virtual assessment, and then they help guide you and your child through the process of correcting these issues. So go to toothpillow.com, click Is My Child a Candidate, and use code AlexClark for a free video assessment today. It's time to help our kids breathe, sleep, and grow the way they're supposed to. No more Band-Aid solutions. We're going to fix it from the inside out. That's toothpillow.com, code AlexClark. Listen, I'm not here to mess around with energy bars that taste like cardboard and give you a crash harder than your last relationship. I found the solution, You Again's Raw Super Honey. It's sweet, it's natural, and it won't leave you face down in a pile of regret an hour later. You know how energy bars act like they're your best friend, but then really they're just setting you up for failure? Like that one friend who's always just like, one more drink at 2 a.m. No. Thank you. Super Honey, it's like a calm, stable energy relationship. It's clean, it's steady, it doesn't ghost you when you need it the most. I keep a little single-serve pouch in my purse at all times, and moms, Super Honey by You Again is the stroller snack of the century. It will not turn your toddler into a crying, sugar-fueled maniac. You're welcome. Unlike most honey, which is just syrup in a fancy jar pretending to be good for you, You Again Super Honey is raw, 100% glyphosate-free, and NMR tested for your purity, is the bee's knees. Well, literally, pun intended. And check out my episode with Dr. Axe, where he dives into all the amazing benefits of eating unadulterated raw honey, just like You Again's. It is sourced from family farms in Texas and North Dakota, so you know that it's very, very good. They have 4 delicious blends with no natural flavors, preservatives, or junk. Head to Amazon and just put You Again Raw Super Honey in your cart, and then you can use code AlexClark for 15% off your cart. Add You Again Raw Super Honey into your Amazon cart, and then use code AlexClark for 15% off. Do you think a lot of this ingestible beauty stuff that we're seeing online, a lot of it is a gimmick?
I think only time will tell. But, look, my father has surrounded himself with naturopaths and holistic doctors and supplement manufacturers, and founders since he was 20, right? The first time I ever went to LA was in 1998. I went for a supplement conference for his best friend in Long Beach. I know a lot about supplements. This isn't new for me. It's something that I've studied for a long time. I've taken supplements for the last 30 years. So I think that a lot of what you see is a lot of hype, and the brands that truly work and are efficacious will stick around. That's what I think.
What is your second bestseller?
Calm Beauty.
The Tart cherry little sachet thing.
Yeah, the sachet, yeah.
I love those, and I had all of my team try them.
Yeah, they
What
work.
is so special about this little Tart cherry thing?
Do you know what naltrexone is?
No.
So naltrexone is it's basically this drug, a very cheap pharmaceutical drug. You really can't make much money off of it. That's why it's not promoted, right? They give it to people who have an alcohol or a drug addiction because it cuts the receptors off in their brain that are getting them high. My doctor in LA, I love her. Her name is Dr. Dominique Freyden-Reed. She's a French functional medical doctor, so she can prescribe as well, right? She's just not a naturopath. She can prescribe medicine. She put me on low dose naltrexone for the endometriosis pain at a very low dose of 1 milligram. And what they're finding is that at a very low dose, it can put Hashimoto's into remission. It cuts inflammation. It's anti-cancer. It's like this longevity drug, but it's not promoted much because it's so cheap.
Maybe I need this. I have Hashimoto's.
Yeah, it's amazing. And you know what? And you lose weight on it too.
Oh, well, I don't need that.
You don't need that.
Disappear.
Yeah, you don't need to lose weight. But for me, I'm very skinny if I'm on low dose naltrexone. But 10% of the people who are on it, they get really bad insomnia, right? And so I drink no alcohol. Also this whole movement of not drinking alcohol. I haven't drank alcohol in 15 years. I have maybe 2 to 3 drinks a year. I had to quit the alcohol because of the endometriosis, right? Because the pain was so bad. And that's also, that also can raise estrogen in your body. So I quit drinking a very long time ago. But, so I don't have an addictive personality at all. If anything, I'm just a workaholic. That's kind of my addiction. But when I was taking the low dose naltrexone, I had really bad insomnia, and I would microdose Klonopin. And Klonopin is so addictive. It's almost like a Xanax. It's in that same category. I would take a tiny bit just to be able to sleep. When I went off of the naltrexone, I also just cold turkey, quit microdosing the Klonopin. And I felt my nervous system was so messed up. I felt like I was shaking. It felt like I was going to have
a seizure.
Yeah. And you can go into a seizure if you don't wean yourself off of Klonopin. And so someone had said to me, try taurine. Taurine is an amino acid that your body naturally makes. It helps with It's amazing. It's this longevity amino acid. It boosts your immune system. It calms your nervous system. It's incredible for cardiovascular health. It's absolutely amazing, right? And when I took it, it calmed me down so much. I have never taken, and it's probably going to blow up. I'm sure that a lot of people are going to copy taurine. I've never taken a natural supplement that felt like nature's Klonopin or nature's Xanax.
No, it's legit.
It calms you down. And I wanted to add that with spermidine, because spermidine can reverse gray hair. It can delay gray hair from coming if it's very preventative. It puts your body in a state of autophagy, so it helps to get the zombie cells out of your body. It's incredible for wrinkles, for your skin. So I wanted to just have something that really calmed me down, but also that was like very anti-aging.
Well, it also tastes phenomenal because it just tastes like tart cherry juice.
That's what it is. So there's no natural flavors. That's something you want to look out for on packaging.
When my dad died and I was home with my mom recently, that was the one thing, like right before bed, which she's really having trouble. Thank you. She's really having trouble sleeping and things like that. And so I had my Tart Cherry Calm Beauty sachets. And so I was like, Mom, it's Tart Cherry time. So she'd be like, okay. And if I would forget while I was there for those like 3 weeks or whatever, she'd be like, are we going to do the Tart Cherry?
Oh,
so
really?
That was like the one thing that kind of gave her a little bit of relief. And like, she still's not sleeping great, but like it helped. Like she was like, it is helping a little. So
she should do Weston Price. That'll make her sleep.
And I like too is that you've talked about you don't only need to take those at night before bed, but you can also take those like if you're nervous flying or you're just like having a stressful moment in the middle of your day. Like it doesn't have to only be at nighttime. You're not going to conk out and sleep.
Right.
But it does give a state of relaxation, which is helpful when wanting to go to sleep.
Absolutely.
What's really going on with the beauty awards that magazines do every year?
It's all bought and paid.
So when they say like #1 hairspray of 2024 or whatever, it's fake?
It's not all fake. The majority of it is fake though. It's bought and paid. Sephora has a lot to do with it, with buying and paying for those. The magazines are broke. They have no money. And so the only way they're making money is by linking the product to the store, and then the store gives the publication a kickback.
You raise a very interesting point that the magazines right now are broke. So my question to you, as somebody who has been super brave, outspoken for Trump, despite working in the luxury beauty industry, working in the fashion industry, do you think that within these next 4 years, Anna Wintour is going to say, okay, let's give Melania a cover?
Yes.
I do too.
Yeah.
Let me hear your thoughts, because I said the same.
The same way that Bezos came out and said that his publication is dying and that he'd like to hire more conservative writers, I think the same thing that's going to have like a ripple effect. And I think there's a lot of amazing editors that are like so afraid to say anything or have left their industry altogether and look for a lot of freelance work because they have similar viewpoints as you and I. I think that Vogue knows that. And I think that it has to be inclusive for everyone on both sides. That's what I think.
I'm thinking from a monetary standpoint.
Yeah.
Vogue needs some sort of revival and to get people excited to buy physical copies. I cannot imagine a bigger driver of sales than to finally give Melania Trump her cover and then just say, go crazy, everybody would buy it. And the Trump frenzy we're seeing, the majority of the country voted for Trump. The majority of the country is fascinated by the Trumps.
She's so elegant and beautiful. She's so the best dressed. Like she literally like Trump's like Jackie Kennedy.
But even think about the spirit and just the cultural zeitgeist of the Trump name now compared to first term.
Oh, God.
It is totally different.
Totally
like
different.
Everybody likes him. Everybody likes that
family. Did you see him at the Super Bowl?
Of course.
And they booed.
Taylor Swift, my girl. I know. Don't get me started, Jena. What are the most overrated, cult-following luxury beauty products?
Ingestible glutathione.
Why?
It does nothing. Absolutely nothing. In order to absorb glutathione, it needs to get into your blood for it to have any effect. And when you take an IV of glutathione, most of it is only, it's not going into the blood. It's going into the plasma of the blood. Very little of it is actually going into the bloodstream. Nyan was the compounding pharmacist who was compounding all the glutathione in LA for 2 decades. He came out with this technology where he figured out a way to do a transdermal glutathione that gets into the bloodstream just by spraying it. There's like zero benefit to taking ingestible glutathione, like almost 0% benefit.
What about La Mer?
It doesn't work for me. Like I think everybody has such different skin, right? Like literally, like I'll recommend a product to my friends and they'll say, this made me break out. And then they recommend something to me. And then I'm like, this made me break out. Like, everyone is so different, which again, that goes back to the vaccine. Like everyone is so like chemically made up, so chemically different from each other. It's not a one size fits all approach. So I can't really badmouth like any like beauty product because something might work so well for one person and not well for the next.
Yeah. The newest product of yours that I'm really intrigued by is this Holy Growth 84, which you're saying can help stimulate hair growth in just 84 days. What is going on with this compared to other hair growth products out there?
The active I use a few different actives inside, but the main active is Redensyl. And Redensyl, they're comparing it to minoxidil. So number one, it's non-toxic. It's plant-based. You can use it if you're pregnant or breastfeeding. You're not allowed to use minoxidil if you're pregnant or breastfeeding. They say after 84 days, it's equivalent to one hair transplant. Is it going to grow hair if you're bald? Absolutely not. If you have a follicle that's not dead and needs stimulation, it will grow that follicle as long as it's not dead.
I bought this for my boyfriend. He started using it.
Oh my gosh. Thank you. It smells so good, doesn't it?
I haven't smelled it yet, but I'm going to have to ask him.
My boyfriend is obsessed with it. He told me that he needs to get his hair cut like way more frequently. And you can look at the before and afters on our website. It's insane. Now, the one thing is that if you stop taking it, if you stop using it, then your hair cycle is just going to go back to growing the speed it grew before. So it's not going to last. You have to continue it.
What sorts of things were you experiencing living in California as a beauty CEO that were concerning to you and made you think, I think I got to support this Trump guy?
I had seen his tweets related to autism back before he even ran for president. He tweeted there was something going on with the vaccines and autism. Maybe he tweeted that in 2012, way before he ran for presidency. I had liked that he was talking about that. That was number one. Number two, it was more that I felt really betrayed by the other side. Like I felt betrayed by leftists. I thought that they stood for healthy food and healthy air and healthy water and medicine that we could trust. And they started to become the party of war and the party of big pharma. And for me, like those are all the things that, that I'm against. I support like life and freedom and peace. And they used to be the party of free speech, and they became the party of censorship. And we knew this issue with the vaccine was, coming to a head, especially when Gavin signed SB 276 and didn't allow personal exemptions anymore. And that really was the beginning of the exodus of moms leaving California. Even though I personally know he does not vaccinate his children.
Governor Gavin Newsom doesn't vaccinate his children.
No, he doesn't.
But he makes it required to attend school in California that your kids have to. There's no religious exemptions.
Well, his party came down on him and said that if you do not sign SB 276, you'll never be able to run for president. Because the pharmaceutical companies are, lobbying and giving so much money. So everything really comes down to money, right? It's all about money and profit.
The way the city of Los Angeles has handled the fires this year, do you think, because there was some celebrity exodus of Los Angeles during the pandemic, do you think now with the disaster of how they handled the fire, how it was totally preventable, they did nothing, do you think that we're going to see an even bigger celebrity exodus of LA?
Yes, I do. And this started happening actually like in 2018, 2019, there was this congresswoman this leftist from Texas who came and she sued the city of LA. And she said that it's illegal to pick up the belongings of homeless that are on the street. Every morning, the Department of Sanitation would drive around LA and they would clean up all of the homeless belongings that were left over and all the garbage, all the needles, all of the stuff like off Skid Row. They would clean the majority of that up, right? Unless they were like in their tent. It became illegal to do that. And so the homeless knew that. So then they started to expand. And that's why you started to see all the homeless, not just on Skid Row, but also all throughout LA, all in West Hollywood. Beverly Hills is its own jurisdiction. It's not counted as this. It's not part of the city of LA. They have their own police department. So they still like prosecuted, but the city of LA stopped prosecuting. So this happened before COVID. We started to see this shift, happening probably even when Jerry Brown was governor. So I just started to see everything that they were doing that was so wrong and so like making the city so dangerous and defunding the police. And LA is not the same, like I feel safer walking around in Paris at night with my jewelry and my bag than I do. London is really going through it right now. I just got back from London. London is going through what we went through in 2020. They're really hurting right now with this crazy leftist government. It's really dangerous. You can't like have your phone in your hand right now. Your phone will get stolen.
Okay, this is really important. I have to go to London this summer.
You don't want to have your phone or your bag. Don't like keep your jewelry on. Don't walk around with like any
what about watches?
Nice things. Yeah, take the watches off. I have done my best within this whole industry. It's taken me 10 years to find conservative, right-wing creatives to work with.
Oh, I love that.
It's taken 10 years for me to find them. That's like the majority of my creative team. They're very similar to us.
Cool.
I prayed for that. Like I wrote down, God, like send me like the most amazing creative conservatives.
I love that.
It was so refreshing because I'm friends with like some very high profile, incredible people in London who have crazy followings, who are the most talented people I know, speak out against this government. It was so refreshing. And
Amazing.
Some as young as like 28 saying, we're not allowed to say that we're proud of being British. Like we're not allowed to say that anymore.
Imagine this. You're in the bathroom doing your business when bam! A toilet snake pops up and bites you right on the butt cheek. Like, seriously? Your butt cheek? It's a low blow, but it's happening, okay? Happened to a Florida woman. Not joking. You're in pain. You're confused. You just want to pretend it never happened. But you know what would make everything better? Some masa chips. These tortilla chips are the answer to life's worst moments. They're made with just 3 simple ingredients: organic corn, grass-fed beef tallow, no seed oils, and Redmond sea salt. That's right, no seed oils, no artificial additives, just pure, crunchy, wholesome goodness that tastes better than any other chip, especially ones with seed oils that are causing tons of inflammation in your body. Masa chips are thicker, crunchier than anything that you've ever had. Perfect for dipping, snacking, or nachos, or simply just for getting that snake bite on the toilet. Get your own Masa chips today and use code RealAlexClark for 20% off your first order. That's masachips.com, code RealAlexClark for 20% off. A little crunch goes a long way, my friends. When you came out for Trump, which Hollywood A-lister sent her friend group to ruin your life?
Kim did not. It was not Kim. It was the friends.
Kim Kardashian's friends set out to ruin your life.
Childhood friends. Yeah, it's her childhood friends. They're so small-minded. They don't travel. They're not worldly. They're in a very small bubble. They're friends with the same people that they hung out with since they were 5 years old. She calls them the lifers. So it was like someone in her lifer group. But I won't say who. But if anyone posted me on their story, like she immediately would message them and say like, take her down. She's a Trump supporter.
Nice.
I would be in desk sides in New York and I would be with editors and they would post the brand. And this group would say to the editor, she's a Trump supporter. Do not write about her.
Well, they obviously didn't have a problem with Kim being buddy-buddy with Ivanka or going to meet with Trump about criminal justice reform.
I think this was years later. This is going back to 2016, 2017. This was, very early on.
I love your taste when it comes to all things fashion.
What's my favorite look of yours?
I love the ad campaign that you did with Agent Nateur, and you have on these like really bunched up thick socks. I don't know if it was leg warmers or what, but you have big trainer sneakers on and you've got little shorts on. And I thought that was darling that you decided to do that. It was like one of your lotion campaigns.
Oh.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
But I just thought it was really,
Thanks.
it was really cute. It was really fitness focused and I don't know, showed off your legs well. I don't know. It was just like a cool idea to do. You were outdoors and I just thought like that for lotion was different than like I would think being in a bathroom or whatever. There's nothing wrong with that. It was just different.
I wasn't the black vintage Versace dress. It was like a little sporty outfit.
It was a sporty outfit for lotion. And I just thought that was interesting take.
Okay.
Do you think that the Margot is replacing the Birkin?
What is the Margot? What's that?
From the row.
No, nothing.
It's everywhere. This is what everybody wants. Everybody's carrying the Margot. Nobody's wanting the Birkin.
Yeah, right.
Because you know why?
Trust me.
How do you not know this? Walmart started carrying Birkins.
I saw it.
Everybody was grossed out.
Babe, look at the retail price for the Birkin.
You think it cannot be outdone? It's there to stay.
Listen, when you get your first Hermes bag, it's an addiction and nothing else in the world matters.
Okay. All right. I'll take your word
I'm
for
telling
it.
you. No, I promise. Like, I didn't understand the hype until I got my first baby Kelly. I got her. I saved. Listen, I said, I am not going to buy myself a baby Kelly until I have X amount in the bank. I saved my whole life for her. I got her in 2018. I paid 5,000 euro at the time for her. She's 7 years old. I wear her more than any other bag. You do the math of what bag you wear for 7 years later. You spend more money buying these $2,000 bags than buying the 5,000 euro bag that lasts a lifetime. When you get it, it's an addiction. Like, you cannot like buy really anything else. Like, maybe once in a while you'll buy a little bit of Chanel, but nothing else matters aside from the Hermes. Like, it's an addiction. It's an addiction and you don't know it. Cause I'm like, what's up with these bags? They're not even that cute, right? You're like, I don't really need that. And then you get it, nothing else matters. And you don't even know about the Margot.
Yeah, you definitely didn't. So that tells me a lot there. I'm like, wow, I was really wrong on this. If Jena Covello doesn't even know what the Margot is, then I'm like, wow.
I do love the row. I wear the clothes, but for bags, like it's, it's like basically Hermes or like almost nothing.
Nothing. Top fashion and beauty trends for 2025 that you're the most excited about? Just a couple.
I love a uniform. I literally wear my same Prada outfits from 2023 and maybe I just expand and get an extra top. But I love, I'm like petite and little like you. How tall are you?
5'4".
Yeah, I'm a little bit shorter than you, but I love just I like being cozy and I love Skims, to be honest. Like, Skims are so comfy and cozy and I don't cancel other women. So I never cancel another company. I really don't care what their political views are to say. I got in a lot of trouble for wearing Balenciaga. I love my Balenciaga. Like, I get in a lot of trouble for that. I lost a lot of followers for that one. But I love Miu Miu. I love Prada. I love being like a little bit sporty. I love being like cozy and having like a designer label on.
Do you think Zimmerman is falling to the wayside? Are we over Zimmerman? Okay,
I'll tell you. Here's my theory on Zimmerman. I think it looks so amazing on a brunette. And it looked great on you. And it looks amazing like on Arab girls and Middle Eastern girls who are olive with dark hair. I hate it on a blonde. It really bothers me to see a blonde in Zimmerman. It's like a clash with my eyes. The pattern and the blonde hair, it's too much. It'll look amazing on you though, because you have dark hair. So you can do it.
Top emerging like mid-tier price range designers that you're liking right now?
Carolina Santo Domingo. She has like amazing, really cute bags that I like. Jacquemus, but they've been around. I think their bags are like adorable, like the cutest, teeniest, tiniest little bags. I love their ad campaigns. I love Sporty and Rich for like a cute.
I do too.
I like her brand.
What do you think about Silver Lake jeans?
Oh, I used to, when they would just give them to stylists. I wore those like a decade ago. Yeah, they're cute. Yeah. Silver Lake. Yeah, they have like a letter that's missing.
Yes.
Right?
Yep. Yeah, I think it might be the I. I think it's SLVER or something like that.
Yeah, they gifted me like all their jeans that was like a decade ago. Yeah, I like their jeans. Okay. I love like a redone Levi.
Yep.
I love those. I love vintage. I like quality, right? I like to buy things that I can wear for like the next 5 years. And I like things that if it's Chanel and it's trendy, it's going to never like disappear from my closet. I'm always going to bring it back. I like to buy things that can last a lifetime. And so my tip is like to go on the Real and get this stuff. Like,
oh, I'm on there all the time.
You can find almost everything that I buy, I then find on the Real.
Loewe, here to stay or fleeting?
Oh, because that designer, didn't he just went to Chanel.
Yeah, I mean, like right now it's really popular, but do you think it's going to stay that way?
I don't know, because I buy a lot of YSL, I buy a lot of Miu Miu, Prada. Chanel I'm really not into right now, but I wear my old Chanel. I'm very excited to see this new designer, to see what he's going to do. I'll tell you a mid-tier brand that I love that I wear all the time.
Who?
Alexander Wang.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kate.
And
I'm loving Kate.
It fits you really well if you're short. Also Totem. Totem is amazing. And it's very similar to the Row, and it's like a little bit cheaper.
Yep.
I buy Kate. I like Kate. I like Kate for some basics. I'm really into being cozy and comfy. Like I love like some cashmere from Loro Piana.
I love it. I love a little fashion talk.
Oh my God. I love being cozy. Like I will not even step no, I'm not even going to go there. Never mind. I'm not going to go there. I'm not canceling any other brands. I'm sure like there are people who like think of Agent Nateur and they're like, oh, like, I don't like her views. If I love something, like I'll buy it if I don't agree with someone's views.
I never talk like high fashion designer stuff on the show. So that's like
what
a fun little thing.
What are your favorite designers?
Right now, it probably is Kate. Mm-hmm. I really like the Row. I really like Kate. And I do like Miu Miu a lot. Mm-hmm. And I've been liking Zimmerman. But that's why I wanted to ask you about Zimmerman, is because, I don't know, I'm like, wait, is it like starting to become uncool?
Can you come to LA and we'll do like a day of me dressing and styling you?
I would love that. I would
love to pick out some outfits for you.
I would die.
You would look amazing in like some like Miu Miu trousers. So yeah, I want to like pick out some looks for your
Well, and you
podcast.
understand my body type.
You have an amazing body.
Well, we're just, frail little hamster women, and you understand that better than anybody. That's just you and me. It's like very hard for other people to understand how to dress me.
Well, I like Alexander Wang. Do you know why you like the Row?
Why?
Because they're short, so they use themselves to fit everything. And that's
Olsons?
why it looks good on us.
Yes, that's what it is.
That's because it's tailored to fit them. And even though I still have to tailor some of it, they fit it on a short girl. And that's why I like Alexander Wang, because he's fitting it on shorter girls. Even though you have to still tailor it and get it hemmed, his like model to fit on is shorter.
Okay, well, that's a really good tip, because I didn't know that. Mm-hmm. But my Roman Empire is the Olsen twins disappearing. I need them back badly. I love them.
They're really sweet girls. I was in a wedding with them, actually.
Oh, how do you hope the Maha movement will greatly and positively impact the beauty industry?
RFK takes the regulation away from supplements, because they're coming down so hard on supplements right now, on NAD, NMN, even glutathione. So, and they have like a host of other ingredients that they're after, right? So I hope that he like dismantles that. I hope that he first and foremost helps improve our food and our soil, because that's directly impacting the way we look and feel, right?
That's so true.
Well, if we don't have healthy food, I go to Europe to be healthy because the food is such better quality, especially in Italy, where there's very little presence of Monsanto and GMOs. There's a lot of GMO in France, actually. And so for me, it's really about the food first and foremost. And then I hope that he bans some of these toxic ingredients, and that we have more regulation on chemical sunscreens. I think that's a big one. I hope that we ban the aluminum. That's an antiperspirant. All the things that are truly bad for health. I hope that he starts to ban and look at some of those ingredients. And there's a lot of things in makeup that are really bad that we're putting on our lips every single day. Certain antioxidants, certain preservatives for lipstick have been banned in Europe for a long time, and They're not banned in the US. I hope all of those things are looked into. I hope that I get to be like on his board and I'm a part of this.
I hope you do too, because that would be fabulous. We'd start looking, talk about Make America Hot again. Jena Covello at the crux of that would be iconic.
So would you.
Oh, well, thank you. If somebody wants to try Agent Nateur, obviously we sold them on it. They're getting Holy Made. But what other beauty product, because I like the skincare and everything, what other thing do you think, try this first?
Bestsellers are Holy Made, Calm Beauty, and then it's Holy Oil, our face oil, and Holy Water. Every single hot girl has Holy Water on their shelf. It's a high molecular weight, hyaluronic pearl and rose essence toner. It's absolutely incredible. It's like a filter. When you put it on your face, it instantly plumps your face. I cannot live without Holy Water and Holy Oil. Like if you use a face oil, or if you don't, if you think face oils are going to make you break out or if they're going to make you greasy, it doesn't. It balances the skin. It's not sticky or greasy. It feels absolutely amazing. So you have to try Holy Oil, Holy Water. We're sold out of the toothpaste. There's so much we're sold out of. The body balm. Oh my God.
Yeah.
You have to see the before and after of the body balm.
No, that's good. I have all of these products, by the way. One thing with the essence, do you spray before you do the oil?
No, you take the essence, you spray in the palm of your hand, not on your face.
Oh.
So, because it's like a straight shoot.
Okay.
So, you spray it in the palm of your hand and you mix it with a pea-sized amount of Holy C, which is our dry vitamin C powder. You mix that together and you can even put the Holy Oil in that and make like a nice emulsion, and then you put that on the face.
And then you do moisturizer after?
Well, if you're going to do a moisturizer, so you want to do Holy Water, Holy C, and then you want to do your moisturizer, and then you want to do Holy Oil at the end.
Holy Oil after the moisturizer?
That's what they say to lock in the moisture, right?
After the moisturizer.
Yes,
I've been doing this wrong.
No, that's what like everybody says to do, but because they say that if you apply the oil after the moisturizer, that you're locking the moisturizer in. But I like to mix it all together in the palm of my hand. And sometimes I even put my tinted moisturizer directly in that, or my foundation. I mix it all together and put it on my face.
And you guys do little blogs and all kinds of stuff. And you can follow Agent Nateur on Instagram. Obviously, follow Jena. What's your Instagram?
Jena Covello, at Jena Covello, or Agent Nateur. But our health blog is literally how a lot of people discover the brand, from all the health advice and all the people we interview.
I always ask every guest, if you could give one remedy to heal a sick culture, and it could be physically, mentally, or spiritually, what would it be?
A healthy relationship.
Just any friend. It could be platonic or romantic.
I think romantic. I think you need a healthy romantic partner to heal a lot of things, like whether it's familial or societal. I think that changes everything. And to have that person to go through all of these crazy things that we're experiencing, like politically or with the fires or whatever is happening, it's really nice to have that person to rely on that calms your nervous system. I get a lot of girls messaging me saying, like, should I break up with this guy? Like, my family doesn't like him, or my friends don't like him. I'm like, only you know that answer, right? Like, no one else knows except for you. And I always say, like, how does your nervous system feel? Like, does your nervous system feel calm? And a lot of times, like, friends and family, they don't know what's best for us. Are they in the healthiest relationships? Do they give the best advice? Like, if they do, and they have like a healthy relationship, and you admire their relationship or you want their relationship, maybe trust them. But you have to be like really careful with who you go to for advice. And I only know this from, because like I'm older and I feel like I've been through so much. So looking back, like I know like Elena Cardone like says this a lot. Like if you have like a fight like with your boyfriend or spouse, like don't tell your friends, because then they're like going to judge the relationship. I'm so lucky. I feel like I'm such a late bloomer. I met my boyfriend 17 years ago. He tried to date me. And if I dated him back then, we definitely wouldn't be together now, because I had to really grow and I had to launch Agent Nateur. But like he calms me, and I'm so grateful for him. And I met him, when I was older, when I wasn't so young. And I'm so grateful to have that person that calms my nervous system. And so I think that is like the best thing you can look for in a person, because that's going to heal your nervous system, which is going to calm you down. And that totally affects like the rest of your health.
Well, Jena, this episode really had it all. We had everything from fashion to beauty to skincare to politics, celebrity gossip. I mean, this really hit all of the things for the girlies. So thank you for letting me like kind of get out of my food pharma, thing that I'm in, and I can get trapped in that for a while. This was like a really fun departure, and also releasing right around my birthday which is exciting for me.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. So that was exciting.
Thank you for having me. This is the first podcast that I agreed to do in like years,
Honored. Well, we're all happy you said yes.
Thank you so much. Thanks.
This was such a departure for me while still being on brand, and I love when I get a guest where that can happen. So some of you may know this, but for those that don't, all throughout middle and high school, I planned to go into fashion, specifically a fashion journalist. That's what I wanted to be. I wanted to major in journalism and minor in fashion merchandising. So I wrote a state award-winning fashion column in our student newspaper. I had like 100 books on the fashion industry in my room. I mean, I was serious and planning on going to Columbia College of Chicago, and then last minute bailed when I got an internship at my favorite local radio station. And well, the rest is history. So to geek out on beauty and fashion in this episode felt like trying on this other life that I almost had for a minute. So I hope you enjoyed it too. Please leave a 5-star review. Tell others why they should listen to Culture Apothecary. We are on a mission to heal a sick culture twice a week. New guests bring a unique remedy Mondays and Thursdays, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Subscribe to Real Alex Clark on YouTube. Follow me on Instagram at Real Alex Clark. You can also find the show on Instagram at Culture Apothecary. I'm Alex Clark, and this is Culture Apothecary.